Hey, everybody, I'm John Granado. That's Josh Jordan. You can hear us on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe right now. We talk a lot of Astros here at SportsMap HOU. We talk Rockets. We talk Astros. Hit subscribe right now. Astros middle infield now set with Altuve. Yay, Altuve's here. And Pena. We know what to expect from Altuve, but all eyes are going to be on Jeremy Pena. He fell off drastically, especially in power. Where's the home runs? Where's the MVP from the World Series? I mean, what happened to him? Now, this offseason, he's been working with Masucci. He went to Louisiana, and he's been working hard. He says he's fixing his swing. We'll see if he gets that power back. He was bad last year. If he does hit some home, are you okay if we see a different Pena this year than we saw last year?
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep in mind, he did improve in some areas last year. His batting average was higher, his on-base percentage was higher, but the power took such a big hit. His slugging went from 426 to 381. He dropped off 12 home runs, and he played more games last year. So that just tells you how much he fell off. He described his new swing as like having a new toy, so I hope he's right about that. The other thing that was his ground ball percentage went way down. I mean, way up, and his home run percentage, 3.9% to 1.6% last year. So he's got to get the power back, but if he does, you'd be fine if he hits 263 and hits over 20 bombs and he plays a good shortstop. You can live with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It worries me a little bit with Yiner because we saw Yiner, how good, the power numbers that he had. We thought Pena was going to be the same guy or even better than he was as World Series MVP, and he just wasn't even close. It didn't affect his defense too much. He was still very good defensively. The infield set now, well, a couple more years of Abreu at first, right? And then I think that's done. We got 6 more years of Altuve. We still got a team control with Pena. I don't think Bregman's back, though. I just don't. And there's guys out there. I mean, they're out there right now, the Chapmans or guys that could take Bregman's place. But I certainly don't. I'm not on the page that I don't think Bregman's coming back. Do you?
I don't think Bregman's coming back. I feel like they're going to just kick the can down the road and try and address that next year. See if somebody from the farm system comes up and shows you something. Maybe in free agency with his money off the books, they can go add somebody. But as I look around the infield, it seems to me they do have some contingency plans. You mentioned Yiner. He can't be worse than Maldi at the plate.
No,
he's locked in. And then I look at first base with Abreu. If it doesn't work out, I mean, you have, the Victor Caratini signing. He's played some first base. And then the recent trade for Trey Cabbage, lost in the mix, was he played 58 games at first base in the minors last season. So I think he's a guy that quietly, if Abreu, maybe if he falls off, or maybe it's not that bad. Maybe they just want to platoon him a little bit more. Maybe Cabbage, left-handed bat, he could do that for you.
Listen, he was fine after he got that break with the back.
Yeah.
He was much better player. If you put Yordan out in left, you put Abreu as a DH, resting him a lot more. Don't put him out at first base every day. You could play Cabbage there. You could play Dubon there. Yeah, I mean, you got to play this smarter, I think, than Dusty did, just putting him out there every single day, day after day after day, and not giving him a break. He's an older player. He was much better. We saw how much better he was with some rest. He probably is going to hate it, but oh well. And Yordan was – we saw last year he wanted to play some outfield.
Yeah.
So you got to placate that guy as well because you want Yordan to be happy.
100%. And first base, it's probably the easiest position to fill. If you have somebody that can really hit, they could move up the system. You see that a lot when Abreu was signed. I would think it was Keith Law that was just like, why would they do that? First base is such an easy position to fill. You'd never see a team like Tampa go pay top of the market for a first baseman. They'd find other ways to fill that need because you just need a guy that can play decent defense and that can really hit. So I'm curious to see how that progresses over the next year or two. But you're right. The Bregman thing is the biggest question mark over the next couple of years. But for this year, he said he's going to try and play 162 games this season.
Yeah, no, he wants to play. He always does. He plays 160. What? Right? That dude's going to be out there. Let me ask you this question. If Mauricio Dubon proves himself again this year, I mean, he's not Bregman, but if he can hit again, if he can hit in the 300 neighborhood with a little bit of pop, if he can have an 800 OPS in that neighborhood, Is there any chance that they, we just look at Dubon as a utility guy. What about playing him every day?
I think that's certainly the case. The only deal is Dubon's not going to walk that much, especially nowhere near Bregman. And Pena, even if he does bounce back with that batting average, he's not a guy that walks a lot either. So that's something that you have to be concerned about. But I will say, with Minute Maid, with the Crawford boxes, it'd be nice if we had some right-handed hitters that could really take advantage of that. That's why Pena, if we could get him going, and Dubon, I think he hit like 10 home runs last season, I believe, something like that, something similar to Pena. So if he continues what he did last season, I'd be okay with it. I mean, give him a shot at least. He's not going to cost you that much.
Nope. I don't. I think that he's got, and we know Dubon. I mean, he stepped up pretty big. He's got a lot to prove this year, and if he does prove it again, he doesn't have to be a utility guy. He could be an everyday guy. Let's see.
Yep.